Welcome to Tea Time with Angels, the official podcast of the Peaceful Rain Temple. If you're a curious mind, you're in the right place, as we aren't afraid to dig deep into the mysteries of life and to try to make sense of the strange things. I'm your host, Troy J. Bacon, a minister of angel healing and a master of three Reiki traditions. I'm the founder of the Peaceful Rain Temple of Empowerment, a non-dogmatic spiritual fellowship dedicated to assisting those who are on the spiritual path to embody their higher self, their divine self, throughout the rest of their days in a mortal body. You can learn more about Peaceful Rain and the Peaceful Rain Temple and our services at peacefulrain.com, or join the activities on our calendar and take our courses free, as well as paid membership courses on our school group. School is SKOOL, and both the website and the school group are linked up in the description. So today's episode is about healing with cosmic energies and the role that cosmic beings, star people, enlightened and higher dimensional star beings can play a role in personal and interpersonal healing sessions, and also earth healing and grid healing work. Today we are joined with the talented Derrick Ivey. We've been friends for many years, and he and I both have gone through hypnotherapy schooling, Reiki mastership, and we both have developed our signature styles of, well, energetic and multidimensional healing, as well as our specialties, signature specialties. I have taken a path in more aligned with the archangels, angelic healing, and now Peaceful Rain, the Peaceful Rain Temple. And Derrick has taken up a specialty in addiction recovery, as well as recovering and separating from toxic systems, family systems, socio-political systems, perhaps any toxic systems that hold you back from living your highest, most joyful life. So I'll give Derrick the floor and let him introduce himself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Troy. And feel so blessed to be here and be a part of this conversation today. And thanks for having me into Peaceful Rain. And yeah, I now really focus on helping people get the toxic system out of them. And that is the basis of my work today, is not only getting them healed and out of situations and systems that keep them small because they're benefiting from that person not being in their highest light. And that leaves a lasting, deep impact on people's energy fields, their subconscious minds. So I use metaphysical healing and Reiki and hypnotherapy journeys and all kinds of alchemical work just to really get not only the thoughts and the voices of the toxic system out, but really getting all of those energy patterns out of you. And so that's what I work with mostly today. And really just, I have spirit sends me all kinds of different people, even beyond that, that I help. And I've been in private practice since 2017.
Awesome work, Derrick. Yeah, that's very needed for this world. So many people struggle with toxic and troubled family systems, recovering from addictions, and recovering from insecurities, low self-worth. So tell me how your journey, your awareness really of the connection to cosmic beings started, and what was that like?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's such a good question. And it's like I'm just really tuning in and thinking, when was that like that really takes me back to think, where was my first connection? When did I first start connecting with these beings? And I think the first exposure I had was back in, this was the mid 2010s, when I was in hypnotherapy school in Golden, Colorado. And I remember that was the first time I journeyed into my subconscious and connected with the collective subconscious. And I had a few experiences in that really showed me there was more. And one of which I remember a buffalo spirit guide coming to me and knowing that there was this presence of unconditional love that this buffalo spoke to me. And I think at that time, that was probably as far as I was able to really receive and integrate at that time. So, not long after that, I began working with a client that lives about 50 miles away from me in Boulder, Colorado, and had, he was really working with a lot of multidimensional beings. He worked with the Essenes and Thor guides and archangels, and that was when my awareness kind of opened up. Like, I was like, okay, when you get into these higher dimensions, I started seeing all of these beings in there, where I was like, okay, like, as your vibration keeps rising and you start journeying in those higher dimensions, you'll see all kinds of beings in there that they're always available to us, but they often will wait for us to ask for their assistance or guidance. There's also other beings in there that are more mischievous, or they have, I wouldn't say it's always negative, but it sometimes has a negative effect. But yeah, then I had another experience right after my Reiki master attunement, where I was up in the mountains towards Estes Park, Colorado, and there was this light that appeared in the sky, and it was stationary and it wasn't moving at all. And there's this green light going down into the river. And my friend and I were out there, and it was very dark. This is land that there's a lot of native spirits on that land, from long times ago, and people have died on that land. But this was different. And there was a snow owl that appeared as we were communicating telepathically with that light, just saying, we are here, we are open to what connecting, like, we're here for the highest and greatest good of all, we're here in love. And I know that the snow owl, it's like they were speaking through the snow owl, and I recognized that same resonance that was in the buffalo guide back when I was in hypnotherapy school, in the snow owl. And it spread its wings and flapped across to this other tree, stared at us, and then disappeared. And so these beings can work through a lot of different forms. They work with energy, they work with telepathy, and a lot of times hypnotherapy is one of the most effective ways to connect with them, because it removes our conscious thinking mind and our ego mind enough to really connect with those beings and receive the information and gifts available. Does that kind of explain? It's like I know I kind of went off on a tangent.
Yeah, those stories are an excellent introduction to how you started to become aware of your connection with the cosmic beings. Um, what happened after that interesting encounter with that owl and that light in Estes Park, and how did that
Yeah,
to you?
that was a critical turning point in my journey as a healer. And it's a lot of psychic abilities were unlocked that exact night. And it's so interesting because it's like you're asking questions that keep bringing more things through that I wouldn't have thought of. But it's like, oh, yeah, why did I not think of that? So that evening, my friend and I had just recently gotten my Reiki Master Attunement, which, as you know, that level is all about manifestation. It's all about being mastered by the Reiki. And so I had felt a lot of things open up that morning before this happened. And this was on Father's Day weekend back in, I think it was like 2021. And I remember there was like my friend and I were doing these readings on her phone, like looking at photos and seeing what intuitively came through. And she showed me this picture of this family. There was a husband, a wife, a daughter, a son. And as soon as I looked at that photo, I felt these waves of emotion coming up within me, and I just started crying hysterically. And I saw exactly what they went through, and I saw that the dad was on a really hard drug and was beating the wife and the son and basically degrading the son every night, physically abusing him, beating him. Um, and then the little girl had to watch this happen to her brother and her mom. And come to find out, I was absolutely spot on about all of this. And I had met the mom. That's it. And she knew my friend, and come to find out, that was exactly what was going on. And I also knew what they needed to heal. And I saw the mom and the kids going away to somewhere safe. And now they are. But yeah, it's wild what opened up in me that night and what I was able to see and just knowings. Like it's like my intuitive and psychic abilities today that I use in my work that I do also do psychic readings all the time. And I do mediumship readings. I do all kinds of things now. And it comes from those abilities that unlocked. And I'm more of, I think it's called clairsentient, where it's just a clear knowing, like you feel it in your body. And I also get images. I'm clairvoyant, but I feel that has been very enhanced by them. Like they have enhanced my abilities. They have, they keep those channels and they give me information through them. They give me different frequencies to help heal myself or others.
What do you think the purpose is? Why ET races, higher dimensional star beings would be teaching us, or why they
Mm-hmm.
activate us, and why they're involved with us in that way?
Yeah. That's such an interesting question, and one that it's, I definitely feel that there's a really, it's like they have a lot of love for us, and it's not everyone is able to communicate with them, is able to receive what they have, what they're bringing through to us. I think that from my experiences that I have had, they have already been through what our planet is going through right now, where there was a lot of illusion, there was a lot of fear based systems and fear based things that were controlling people. And they operate on such a higher dimension that they're able to fully live in abundance. Like as a whole, have cracked the code of abundance and unity consciousness, and it's like they have no resistance. And I think they're showing those of us that can hold that higher frequency in this reality, because there's something on a bigger spiritual level that is going to be huge. And I think a lot of people now that haven't been ready, there's going to be life circumstances that are inevitably going to push them to be ready to up level, to open to love, to things like that. And I think a lot of us, we went through the really hard lessons, and we paid a very heavy price for that, but it's all in love. And those people are going to get a gift of, they aren't going to have to go through the pain that we went through to get these new upgrades in the new earth, but they have to be open and they have to be sincere, and their energy has to be in the right place. And otherwise, I see a lot of people not coming into this next wave with us. And those are the people that are clinging on to these fear based structures. Like they don't want it to change, they want to take us backwards. This, the beings are helping us move forward, and they're helping us create an environment of love. And they're here to help us remove these systems that really just operated in fear. And the light of consciousness is shining and melting all of that fear and all of the, just, it's kind of like an energetic debris or scum, or that's like all of that is getting washed away.
Excellent answers, Derek. Yeah, I know that some of this can be kind of convoluted. There's so many levels, dimensions to consciousness and how they interact with us. So yeah, it's
Yes.
a uh, simple 1 or 2 sentence question to answer. Um, in just a few weeks' time, I'll be facilitating the first annual Cosmic Congress here in Washington State. That's largely oriented towards star seeds and conscious soul
Mm-hmm.
communing with the Galactic Federation. Have you, in your experiences with these positive cosmic and galactic beings, have you encountered representatives who work with the Galactic Federation? Or what is your understanding and experience with how perhaps a galactic federation or a federation of worlds is here to protect us and help ensure humanity's evolution?
Yeah, I feel they have the best interests at heart, and they're here to create a way to do this in an organized way where we can put all of our energy together and create a beautiful new reality. And it's like they're here to show us that we're co-creators, and it's like they're also what it is, like they're an example of a form of leadership that operates in love. And that's what a client of mine had a really deep session. It took her to all of these past lives, and she was speaking with the Galactic Federation, and they were holding her, they were healing her, they were doing all kinds of things, and then they were telling her about what they're here to do, and that's to show us on a big scale how in our heart we can operate in love, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Um,
What has your experience been, Troy?
well, my experience has been, I guess, you could say, kind of lengthy. For many years, I've known about my starseed nature, even since before my walk-in, years before.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a number of really many memories, dream memories primarily, but also from hypnosis. I've recalled memories of my ET contact experiences throughout my whole life, really, going back to early childhood, and mostly with my gray and mantis family. But I've learned just recently that my lifelong gray and mantis family contacts, I call them the cohort, because they're of the light, pretty enlightened,
Mm-hmm.
grays and mantis beings working together. And they, I learned, started taking me to Galactic Federation ships, which are about the size of cities, if not larger, in some in deep space, some around our world too. But I just remember being taken to their ships around 10 years ago for the first time. Actually, the first time my main gray chaperone told me this specific memory I have when I was in Beijing in 2016. Um, I,
Mm-hmm.
I had this really amazing dream. I just remember the end of it, but it felt like I know I was with different kinds of beings for hours and hours, it felt like, especially in the inner Earth cities. But the inner Earth city part of it was really just the later part after I was on a Galactic Federation ship, he hoped to remember. And that was the first time that they started taking me to Galactic Federation ships, as part of the last 10 years of training with Galactic Federation beings. Um, I have at least a couple of memories and now more conscious, because I close encounters. I'm also clairsentient, and I just see what they look like in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
hear them. Um, but with ant beings, I remember also physically sitting in front of an ant being, probably a little bit shorter than I am, eating his vegetation in a Galactic Federation cafeteria, and
Mm-hmm.
specific moments in that first contact of being in like a seminar or a lecture type of room with some elders giving some sort of telepathic talk to us. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's been an interesting journey, but um, the assignment I've accepted from them with them is Cosmic Congress. And so I can link that up in the description too, but that's happening August 7th through 11th. CosmicCongress.org has all the information and tickets if anybody wants to view that. So that's what I can say kind of more briefly about my involvement with the
Mm-hmm.
Federation.
Yeah. And I've also, that brought up for me, I've also been to those cities of light, and they've taken me there. I I don't know if anyone, if you, Troy, or anyone listening has experienced in the last several years of what we would call it here on this time space reality, like the last 5 years, I've felt my soul has done a lot more astral travel when my physical body is sleeping. Like, there's things that are just, it's like I know I've been a lot of places, I've had a lot of energy work done on me, like all of these things have shifted, like I've communicated, I've gotten answers. It's like, I don't know, things are more unexplainable, but at the same time, it's like I know it was something really wild for my soul that it underwent.
Yeah, I can relate to that. In more recent, I guess, months and years in my life, I've sort of off and on done some of more conscious astral travel. I really call it by location because I can still feel and be aware of my body, but it's like my
Mm-hmm.
awareness and senses and consciousness are also in somewhere else, having very specific sensory input,
Mm-hmm.
and specific experiences there. It's best to call in angelic and really strong protection before you even try that if you're listening. It's not for beginners. And you can accidentally, without knowing it, end up in some kind of dangerous places or places you shouldn't be. That's why you need to call in protection. But it's best to learn from someone who's already experienced an astral travel to before you try that.
What
Yeah,
has your experiences been? Have you ever had anyone come to you after they went into some places that were not the best?
yes. One of them was when I tried astral traveling to the a ziggurat in what was ancient Mesopotamia, but a ziggurat temple. Inside of them are very interesting and some very interesting energies, some very interesting ancient high tech, but 5D high tech primarily stuff going on in
Mm-hmm.
there, and devices and objects that would definitely change our society forever and change a person forever. But
Mm-hmm.
when I went in there, I've only been in there once, there was some military technology and military barriers set up in there. I think I was viewing some sort of like diagrams or inscriptions that were on the walls or on a wall. Except I only
Mm-hmm.
had like it felt like seconds to be in there before I felt like I just got out of there because one of the guards saw me astrally and knew I was there, and I knew that if I stayed in there longer, then I could be in major trouble. So I just got out of there, came back to my body, opened my eyes, called in, I could say, superior angelic protection to cut that off. Yeah, it can be dangerous actually, potentially,
Yeah.
because if you're astral traveling to places like that, where especially the U.S. military and military operations have claimed ancient temples like that and sites with technologies, and even being
Mm-hmm.
still in there that they don't want us to even know about, they don't want us to have any contact
Yeah.
with, because they will dismantle the whole military, industrial, and capitalistic
Mm-hmm.
cabal that controls everyone or tries to control it.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so if you go into places like that without protection, heavy or superior angelic protection, perhaps, and you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then the astrally combat trained guards who are there can actually mess you up, sometimes even detain you, perhaps even place curses on you, send other negative ET beings that they work with after you, and they'll harass you, who knows for how long or what they'll do until you can somehow banish them, which I've banished countless beings, many dozens of beings already over the years. Even evil aliens in their bodies have been banished and just disappeared because they tried to
Mm-hmm.
mess with me. But yeah, that's something different. I can certainly help with that. You can contact me at peacefulrain.com if you have any trouble with evil aliens and beings like that. But yeah, otherwise, be very, very vigilant and cautious if you're astral traveling, and
Mm-hmm.
call in protection before you go.
Even guarding places in that realm, because when you're not there, they can get fully destroyed or tainted or any number of things. So definitely something to reach out to Troy about, to just make sure that you're in your highest alignment and protection.
Yeah, that's always best to call in protection. So this kind of segues into another topic I wanted to bring up, especially regarding some interesting shifts on the Earth that are happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
The big Hadron Collider in at CERN in Zurich, Switzerland, underground there, recently was shut off, and for many years, of course, it's nothing new, but empaths and psychics I know, and even myself, have viewed the Earth's grids and seen all the many pockets and concentrations of just black and darkness. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and that's mostly created by humans and our innate inner negativity that we choose to hold on to. But that can also that's just astral, dark astral distortion too from the dark astral ecosystems. So I do want to say that now is a powerful time to do light work, work with the angels, fairies,
Mm-hmm. Reiki.
yeah, yeah, positive ET and galactic beings to project to and work on where CERN is,
Absolutely.
clean up at least the dark astral debris and damage that was done there, because CERN is a giant hadron collider device. I think it's like 5 miles, or I forget how many, some miles wide. It's like
Yes.
a gigantic ring underground, this
Yeah.
facility, but it has layers underneath it, like a deep underground military base. And what
Mm-hmm.
I know myself and other psychics have been saying goes on there is, along with quantum physics experiments, they're consciously, some dark government beings are consciously and have been opening dark portals there for dark and evil, even demonic beings, Draco beings, to enter the Earth. Now that the collider is turned off, those portals aren't being opened, so now we can go in and close them. Call in the archangels, call in the saints, the ascended masters. I'd recommend
Mm-hmm.
really activate your light body, and now's a powerful time to do that. Tune up your light body as we're in the dog days of summer, and huge, like an immense flood, like a giant Nile, cosmic Nile flood, is hitting the Earth right now. It will be until the Lionsgate portal in early August. Uh,
That's right.
yeah, and that's because the star Sirius is rising on the eastern horizon before the sun rises. The 40 days of the dog days of summer. That goes into Egyptian mythology. You can look into more of that on your own. Probably doing their talk about that sometime. Derek,
Yeah.
how are you feeling, and how is this affecting your energy, body, and work?
Yes, that was another thing that was a synchronicity, is that you brought that up, because I've had that conversation with a couple of people in the last few days here, and it has been affecting me. Yeah, I was resting a bit more um earlier in the week, and yeah, I'm really able to trust at this point my guidance and my intuition. And so it's kind of like, yeah, it's not like don't start something new yet. Like it's like there's still like information downloading. But that being said, I feel like we're all being put on higher timelines. There's lower timelines being collapsed. There's upgrades happening in our DNA. And it's kind of like if you think of the collective consciousness as a big pot of soup, it's like somebody is stirring this pot of soup up and it's making it better. And, like, but it's also this chaos before the higher level of order that's happening. So, yeah, I definitely feel physically it's I just my body feels like there's more heat, like there's a lot of processes happening energetically. Also just more nutritious things my body's craving to help with those. So that's kind of what I've noticed.
That's good advice. Yeah, always, especially during such powerful cosmic shifts and astrological alignments, when a lot of energy is being
Mm-hmm.
moved through us. Good nutrition, balanced diet, not not too much like sugars and processed foods, but foods that look like they're made by the earth. Electrolytes to help balance energy. Look into blood sugar balancing foods if you're sensitive to blood sugar. That's
Yes.
one too, though. And grounding, earthing, just put your bare feet on the earth twice a day
Oh, yeah.
after you wake up and before you go to bed, at least, if not all day, is really best
Yes.
if you can. And that should be on grass, on soil. Um, Sometimes unsealed tile is okay. Concrete is not quite as great as grass and soil, but it's still
Mm-hmm.
rock. Try to get out of the concrete jungle though, out of the city, and into
Mm-hmm.
or on the beach and away from cell phone and 5G areas. And
Mm-hmm.
you'll feel the difference. Your body will feel that instantly once you get out of those Wi-Fi soup zones. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Um, as soon as you exit the Wi-Fi and 5G soup lands and you get into um, the cell service free zones and Earth with your body on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
you'll just start getting messages, awareness, and um, epiphanies from the Earth's energy and spirits will.
Oh, yeah.
It's so beautiful because it usually will
Mm-hmm.
reassure you that you don't even need to rush. You don't need to pressure yourself or be pressured to perform or be anything that your heart and
Mm-hmm.
comfortability isn't aligned with or isn't fully optimized to feel your absolute best, feel your absolute most comfortable. Yeah, that's actually how we should be living. That's the way of life. Christ.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Yeshua, Christ, Krishna, Buddha, Ganesha, Kuan Yin, all the
Mm-hmm.
avatars and saints and ascended masters of the planet taught us. That's basically their core essential um, mission
Mm-hmm.
message. The reason that we haven't had an avatar, a messiah, in about 1500 years since Muhammad is because now we're no longer in need of that kind of messenger. We all are the Messiah, the second coming, the Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the Rainbow Tribe is now. That's what we are now. And that's what our children are now. The Rainbow Tribe that will lay the foundations of the Golden Age. And Now, I wanted to also include and mention that with CERN being shut off, with the dark portal generator, the dark portals on the Earth being shut down and closed en masse, and that timeline, that operation being cut off now, being shut off,
Mhm.
we are in such a unprecedented time. Also, with this six planet double grand trine alignment coming up on July 19th, 2026. This is a time for us individually and collectively that everything we do, first of all, it's important to work on closing our loops, fixing and healing and reconciling old
Mhm.
unfinished karma in business with people and situations. Close those. Do everything that you can right now to heal and complete karmic attachments. Eliminate those. But now's the time, if you're starting new projects or choosing to shift onto a positive timeline, now's the time to do that like never before, because this will be a powerful juncture, especially after a recent solar eclipse, to for all of us to shift into this new timeline, just like Dolores Cannon and others have um, talked about the splitting of the earth. It's no longer about the duality or living in the duality of right and wrong, if
Mhm.
it's right or wrong to like leave people, disassociate from people who aren't serving your positivity or productivity, your higher value,
Yeah.
your service to others, your growth and investment in yourself and your already healed self. Um,
Yeah.
Wrong. And if they're trying to bring you down, then that's no different than those who stoned Jesus Christ for being misunderstood by spreading the word of the true way of life, of living in harmony with nature, harmony with animals, conscious respect to animals and the earth, and to truly activate our our inner authority, divinity, the fact that we really are the Christ and holy energy now. And that's also essentially what Star People are telling us. The core message, it takes many forms and each
Mhm.
is saying something a little bit different, has a different focus, but that's really what we're all working for. And that's what Cosmic Congress is bringing through too. Um, Building this community of bridging humans with the already
Mhm.
ascended, already perfected societies that have passed through this change period that Earth is passing through.
Yeah, that's so important
Yeah,
to connect and invite that dialogue and learn from them and grow with them. They're growing with us, taking us through that. They're evolving with us.
yeah, yeah, they actually are. And this is one of the reasons I believe that Star People are teaching us and helping humans evolve too, is because not only have those individuals, those representatives from their planets and their federations and councils pass through their change period on their planet. That's the last one, and they'll never see another dark ages on their planet. Just like we now have the power to choose for our planet. Um,
Hmm.
it's not only that they have evolved past that and they are bringing those teachings to us that we need, but by teaching that to us, that's helping them learn and evolve in
Yep,
their soul and their collective. Yeah,
totally is.
how these energies really transformed your clients have, I know that we've worked together and you've helped me
Hmm.
profoundly. Actually, there's some work I'm integrating and we'll be bringing through soon from the Holy Book that the Greys, the Epsilon Eridani Greys taught me, um,
Hmm.
that you helped me get clarity on. Have
Hmm.
have you had clients also really wake up to the, these big truths?
Yeah, hugely. And even within the last several months, it's been more than usual. And the epiphanies are bigger and they're much clearer without even needing to interpret. It's just like, oh, wow, yes. And the other thing I wanted to say was you talk about putting your feet on the earth and how powerful that is. That is also what I teach my clients as well, because they showed me how this works. Like when we connect our feet into earth, and you can see cords going down as your feet are there, and you can really feel the connection just putting your feet on the earth. You feel your energy grounding, but what it is, it's like plugging your cord into this, and you're calibrating to a thing, and that's going to help to really get grounded every single day. Go put your feet out in the earth. I have a lot of river sessions this summer, and they are really present there because it's out towards Estes Park. It's out actually a mile from where this happened to me is where we do the river sessions. So out there, we've been having breakthrough after breakthrough. Like people, I had one gal travel here to Colorado. She had that healing. She connected with a lot of different light beings. They were giving her direction of where she was meant to go. Then she's just had one thing after another. It's like, okay, you go here now, go here. And it's like she just keeps opening up all these new locks, and these really amazing things are happening to her. She sold her house for way more than it was worth. And now she's able to move and travel. And she's stepping into her role as a healer. And she's in the process now of considering learning Reiki from me, and then she's going to learn more angelic Reiki modalities from Troy. And she's going to learn other things from both of us. So, yeah, that's one of my clients that has had a lot of growth this summer. Then I had another woman that she had been having a lot of skin rashes, and it was all based on, they showed her how it was based on resentment that she had towards her sister, her coworkers, all these people that she was angry at. And they showed her how it actually was and what their souls were doing. And she let all of that go, and the skin disease is no more. Spontaneously, she tried everything in a Western medicine sense.
Wow, those are really powerful healings and powerful activations. What's one of the, I guess, most um, exciting, kind of most groundbreaking, even physical disease healings that you've witnessed in one of your clients?
Several years ago, I worked with a woman that she had a lot of dental caries in her teeth, and she showed me a panoramic x-ray, and she came to me for Reiki treatments. I think we did 8 back to back. So she came back every day, one after another. And she went back to the dentist and she got another x-ray. It was at a holistic dentist, and they were greatly reduced. So then she did another session with me where I had another healer come in, and we both blasted the Reiki ray right at her teeth, and she never had to get the fillings. And it's like, for the most part, pretty healed up. like her teeth healed themselves. And yeah, she was doing other things. She was using coconut oils and all these things, but this stuff really, really works. And it opens so much up. And in many cases, the spiritual aspect is everything because the physical is spiritual. But yeah, it's just, then I've also seen a gal had stage 4 colorectal cancer, and she was able to go into remission, and she's still doing really good. So yeah, it's like all of these things that you might think you don't have a chance in our previous world in these fear-based systems, but it's amazing what you can do when you do operate on these higher frequencies and you're open to the entire field of possibility, and you're open to every possibility. That also opens you to your highest healing.
Yeah.
And some people
Yeah.
block it off by focusing on the problem, and then that's all they get because they aren't open to the possibilities.
Yeah. That's definitely a turnkey. One of the ways that I understand these healings can work is that our physical and
Yeah,
corporeal body and self is really just the byproduct of all of the other layers, dimensions of the emotions, which are really influenced by and usually caused by the mind, deeper thoughts and patterns and engravings in the mind, which kind of can be influenced by, but also influence and tied back to the soul. That's
mm-hmm.
life karma plays in, where people have exactly the same mentality, behaviors, ways of being, and fears from past lives. So really, the benefits of Reiki are astounding, and
Oh yeah,
cancer remissing, I can say disease remissing, because it brings in the immensity and basically, I could say, godly energy
yeah,
in the soul, and integrates that immense, bright, usually warm, you know how it is, vibratory, bright light energies
yeah,
of the soul, from the soul, integrating that more into the emotions and the mind, which are really just the instruction signals, instruction origins of the DNA, the RNA, and the body. And so by
yeah.
changing the emotions, mind, and spirit on that level, us Reiki masters and angel and dimensional healers change the body. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
one of the more inspiring and potent healings I witnessed, so that a client experienced after just 3 sessions of angelic Reiki. I was surprised how fast it worked, but um,
Mm-hmm.
a very complex, multi-organ, multi-tumor network that she
Wow.
for years prevented her from eating any solid foods, barely anything then more than water some days.
Mm-hmm.
That just went into remission, and
Wow.
life has changed.
And
Yeah.
that's the most natural thing to happen with these energies. Like, and that's the thing in the angelic realm, that's not a big deal for them to do. Like, that's what
No,
they're there for.
yeah. Perhaps we can have a conversation more about the angelic realm, the soul, what we could call afterlife, or in
Mm-hmm.
between life realm in another conversation. I think that would be an exciting topic and episode to,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, perhaps bring in some NDE type stories there. And Derrick, where can people find you and your website and everything that you do and put out there?
Yeah. So my website is dgtwellness.com, and that's dog, D as in dog, G as in goat, T as in tango, dgtwellness.com. And then also just my name, Derrick Ivey, DerrickIvey, on Facebook at DGT Wellness, on YouTube, Inner Alternatives for Life on Substack, and all kinds of other things. But I trust the divine will help you find me if it's meant to be. And we'll put a link in the show notes, maybe.
Certainly, I know you have a link tree, I believe, but yeah, I know you also
Yes,
are.
I do have that, which is perfect.
Yeah, I also see you on Instagram and TikTok, so
Yep.
you're out there.
Yeah. And there, I even have a few more like Blue Sky and there's so many now. Up scrolled.
Yeah, it's all fun.
Uh, it's so nice to share this time and space with you, Troy. Thanks for having me.
Likewise, Derek, this has been a pleasure to chat with you and to welcome you on to Tea Time with Angels.